Hey guys, I'm Jamel.
And I'm Zipporah.
And this is Marriage on Display. All right, so I came with a topic this time at least, right? All right, so go ahead.
Right, we do have a topic. So the topic today is getting to 10 years. So we've been together for 10 years and we just wanted to share some of the things that we felt that helped us get to 10 years.
All right, so one of the things that we both agree with was adapting to the other person and learning yourself.
Learning yourself.
Yeah, learning yourself.
Mm-hmm.
We thought that was very, very important because you don't stay the same. You're adjusting to a new person, and in your adjustment, you're changing, and you have to realize what those changes mean to you as a person, and what other areas those changes affect.
Right. I feel like in a relationship, you bend and you adjust until it fits or break. And if it break, then y'all ain't together no more. Hopefully that won't happen. But yeah, it's a lot of adjusting and it's a lot of changing and it's a lot of doing things that you probably normally wouldn't do, or maybe dealing with something that you might not normally deal with. But these are the things that we do in relationships to make them work.
In the beginning, we go through that. What you call that period again, babe?
The honeymoon phase.
Yeah, you go through that honeymoon thing. Like our honeymoon period lasted about 7 years before we got into like having arguments and things of that nature. Some people only last about a year, 6 months, whatever. But you go through that in the beginning, and like you're doing things that you normally wouldn't do. You know what I mean? You're not taking the time that you normally would take to yourself. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? The other person is doing the exact same thing, and you go through that for a certain period of time before you settle down and adjust to who you are. But at that time, when you settle down and adjust to who you are no longer the person you was before.
Right, and that's very important.
Yeah, you're no longer, yeah.
Yeah, and that's very important in the marriage is, just doing that adjusting. And with the learning yourself. So one of the things that I realized about myself after being with Jamel is that I needed time to myself. I needed me time. The beginning of our relationship, for the first year, we didn't spend one night away from each other. We was together every single day, right? And there's nothing wrong with that. I didn't see nothing wrong with it at the time. But, we started having kids and, work and just life happens, just things with life. And me not getting that time to myself will cause problems. It will cause little arguments and bickering over really nothing.
Yeah, it was more than just her not getting the time to herself. It was her not recognizing she needed that time to herself. Right. But because she didn't recognize she needed that time to herself, she can't articulate to me that she needed that time. Mm-hmm. So I don't know she needed time, so I'm not going to give it to her because I don't know what you need. All I know is now you're being distant. You don't want to talk. Feel like right now the slightest little conversation we have, it turns into a big argument that lasts through texts at work and like you just going through a whole bunch of stuff, and really you just need 20 minutes, 30 minutes, an hour, possibly even a day to yourself.
Right.
And you just didn't know. And you had to learn that's what you needed.
Right. And it was difficult for me to learn that. Now I know it, and basically when I'm in that mood, and sometimes I don't even realize I'm in that mood, he'll realize it. One of the things that I notice that I do when I need time to myself is I'm away from him. Normally when I come home from work, I'll come in, I'll give everybody a kiss, my kids, we'll go over what we doing today. All right, what movie we gonna watch? Oh, what's the plans for the night? But when I'm in that mode where I need a time to myself, I'll just come in, give him a kiss, give the kids a kiss, and then I'll usually like sit in the living room and watch a movie, or maybe I'll spend extra time in my car, or I'm just away from him.
And then here I go with, you all right? I'm not knowing. She's like, yeah, I'm good. And he's like, you sure? Like, yeah, you seem a little distant. Wow, I'm walking, I'm minding my business. I'm doing nothing. Irritable. You don't know, but once she recognizes, she could say to me, yeah, I'm just taking some me time. And I'm like, oh, okay. But not knowing it, it's like me trying to figure it out the whole time.
Right. He thinking he did something wrong, or I'm upset with him, or you know, and it's like, no, I'm not upset, I'm not mad, I'm just, you know, just want to be with myself.
Yeah. And one of the things I notice is like when they at nighttime, not even just at nighttime, because I'm not a big sleeper, so I'm used to since young probably sleeping 4 to 5 hours a day. But as you get older, that takes a big toll on your body. And when I'm sleepy, I get irritable.
Yes.
And not knowing that can wreak havoc in a relationship, because then most arguments gonna happen at night.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Now you up, you're not getting
You up, it's 12, 1 o'clock in the morning, you just got finished watching the show, and here you are, starting an argument about the remote.
Why you got the remote in the bed? Because it's close to me.
And it ain't even the fact you got the remote in the bed. It's more so the way you're saying the remote in the bed. You're saying it in a manner that's irritable. Like there you go, the remote in the bed again.
Right.
You know what I mean? The remote in the bed again. You always got that remote in the bed.
And I'm just looking like, why is he starting?
Yeah, you just want to argue. You're just so mean. Meanwhile, I'm just tired.
Right.
Like, you know what I mean? You don't notice that. Because 20 years ago, you weren't like that.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Right.
Muhammad Ali, I think, said it best. A person that thinks the same way at 40 that they did at 30 missed 10 years of their life. I think that's a very, very important statement, because, you know, and throughout the course of a relationship, there's a beginning part when you're getting to know the person, when you're letting things go that you wouldn't normally let go, where you're not doing things that you normally would do. And then when you hit the middle part, you're becoming the person you are, no longer doing the things you used to do. Me, it was video games. I played a lot of video games, and yeah, I know I still play a lot, but I was on my PlayStation 24/7, except for when I had to go do something. And now I'm not on it as much, but I still need that same type of entertainment or same type of release. You have to find a different way to do it, so you're no longer the same person.
Well, one of the things that I wanted to expand on when you said, and I thought that was a good point when you said that, you know, you're one person in the beginning and then in the middle. And I think that person you are in the middle is important, because now you are a new you, and you're making adjustments and you're making room for this new person in your life. Mm-hmm. You know, and that's the part right there. Get into that where we actually fit.
Yeah.
You know, and I think that's the most important part of the relationship. And I think once you get to that part is what's going to get you to that 10-year mark or past.
Yeah. And then on top of it, like, it's not just over once you realize that you changed and that the other person has changed because you're learning how to be a different person together. After that, there's another point that you need to realize how you are after that realization. Because now that you realize that this person needs that time to themselves, and you're giving them that time to themselves, now you're changing again because of that realization. There was a time when they didn't need it, then there was a time when you found out they need it, and then there's a response that you have to finding out that they need it, and now to the person you are in realization of what they are. You're changing again, and you got to constantly take retrospect of yourself, and the way you take that retrospect to yourself is listening to the other person.
Yes.
Because they're going to notice it first.
And that's very important, because a lot of times, you know, listening, you know, it sounds like a very simple thing. You just hear them. Yeah. But sometimes it's not, because sometimes you have to say things more than one time before the person can actually understand what you mean, what you're saying, and how then to respond to it.
Yeah.
You know, and that takes time and it takes work.
Yeah. The person that's going to notice it is definitely going to be the other person. So when they saying stuff, they're going to accuse you of being a certain type of way. And it doesn't mean that it's exactly how they say. It more so means that they knows that you're not like how you was. And they're probably right. They're probably right. So at the very least, even if you don't agree, you got to look at it and see what you're doing different. Maybe you may analyze it and see exactly what it is that they not able to say because they don't know what it is either. You know what I mean? And look at it and utilize it to help the relationship grow rather than hurt the relationship. You know what I mean? Us being able to talk things out actually helped me be able to win my first argument today. Guys, that's some food for thought. 10 years, I won one argument. You know what I mean? Mike would have been into that. And she didn't want to give me that. But
I don't even know if he really won the argument, but I did apologize. So,
yeah, that's good enough. You know what I mean? Like 10 years, one argument won. You know what I mean? She's gonna win 99.9% of them. But once as y'all develop and grow as a couple, you'll probably win 1 in 10 years. You know? but it makes things easier, you know what I mean? Because you know that you want to be with this person, and that person know they want to be with you.
Yes.
And you know, sitting there analyzing yourself in order to be able to see how you've changed, and analyzing the other person and seeing how they change, and knowing that you're going to change, that they're going to change. I think it's a very big key part to a long, healthy relationship.
Yes. So again, in closing,
I'm Jamel.
I'm Zipporah.
And this is Marriage on Display.